One survivor introduced in Season 9 has been kept away from the spotlight over the past few years, but The Walking Dead appears to finally be making them a major character. Given the franchise's large ensemble cast, it can be particularly hard to stand out in The Walking Dead with so many key characters fighting for screen time. As a result, some survivors were relegated to the background and rarely featured, an issue that only got worse in the later seasons. However, Dead City Season 2's trailer hinted at the story giving one underused character a more prominent role. After a thrilling 6 episodes, Dead City Season 1's ending set up an exciting next installment, with Negan being forced to join the fight to control Manhattan, while Maggie returns to the island hoping to end her feud with her former enemy. As a result, the show's return in May will have plenty to unpack, and while there are no early signs of any unexpected cameos, the spin-off Central Survivors will be returning. Most interestingly, an undeveloped character looks like they will step up and play a surprisingly big part in the upcoming story, according to Season 2's trailer. It looks like Haschel will be a main character in The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2. Haschel seems to be a central part of Dead City Season 2's story. Haschel re Maggie Rhee and Negan Smith in Dead City custom image by Simone Ashmore. Having first appeared in Season 9, Haschel will officially gain his main character status in Dead City Season 2 if the trailers are anything to go by. Throughout his time in the original show, Haschel failed to make much of an impact as he was only a child and wasn't really utilized in the overarching story the same way that Carl and Judith were. Maggie and Negan spin-off has since changed this, as the entire plot was based around Haschel being abducted, with Season 1 taking place in the future, giving audiences an older version of the character. Despite this, he was kept predominantly on the sidelines since the story focused on Maggie and Negan's attempt to rescue him, rather than Haschel's time in captivity. Now, his role in the plot looks to be much bigger, as Season 2's trailer indicated that Maggie's son will join her on their quest to confront Negan. With Maggie and Haschel's relationship looking stronger in Dead City Season 2, Haschel will hopefully drop the moody teenager act and begin living up to his father's legacy, but regardless of where his story goes, he will officially become a central character. Haschel in the TV show is becoming very different to The Walking Dead's comic Haschel. Helping save Negan could make the TV version of Haschel much more heroic than his comic counterpart. Close-up of Haschel, Glenn, and Maggie's son from The Walking Dead. While Maggie and Glenn are two of the most popular characters in The Walking Dead, their son was far from a fan favorite in the comics. After he was born, Maggie kept Haschel sheltered from the rest of the world, spoiling him and ultimately making him unaware of how dangerous zombies really were, which led to him becoming an antagonist in the latter issues. Although his TV counterpart has inherited some of these bratty and hostile traits, Dead City seems like it will make Haschel a completely different character when he attempts to aid Maggie's mission of infiltrating Manhattan. Season 1 left Maggie's true intent unclear, but it appears as though her return to New York will be based around saving Negan from the show's villains so that they can finally bury the hatchet and move on. With Haschel offering to assist with this, he may become far less cowardly and entitled than in the comics, learning how to become a true survivor instead. It's not completely out of the question that he follows the same villainous path as in the source material, but Season 2's early impressions indicate that no matter what happens to Haschel, he will be vastly different from what we've seen before. If Dead City does opt to make him a hero, it would be a great way to repair Maggie and Negan's relationship and set up the future of the franchise by having another young, dependable survivor join Judith and RJ, proving The Walking Dead still has plenty of life. What Haschel's role in The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2 could be. Haschel could be Negan's savior or the Dharma's secret weapon. Haschel standing next to the Dharma in The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2. Haschel's most obvious role in Dead City Season 2 will be helping Maggie reach Negan, but his overall part in the story may be far more complicated. Rather than simply sticking by his mother's side, he may try to be a hero himself, leading to a plethora of possible outcomes. Managing to take down the show's villains and save Negan is a possibility, but this outcome may involve Haschel taking a life, something that could traumatize Maggie, especially when considering how protective she is in the source material. However, he could also follow a darker path, with Maggie holding Lucille's replacement in the Walking Dead spin-off. The Dharma may be able to manipulate Haschel into believing his mother is just like Negan, taking advantage of his influential mind. Haschel has already shown a few signs of resentment towards Maggie, and using the teenager to get to Dead City's protagonists could be a stroke of genius from the antagonist. Season 2's trailer did picture the Dharma and Haschel side by side, and given she didn't kill him last season, she could turn the young survivor into a villain, albeit a much different one from his comic book counterpart. It seems inevitable that Haschel will defy Maggie at some point and make his own decisions, but whether these are good or bad choices is yet to be seen. Having Haschel toughen up and become more like his parents would be a nice change to his role in the comics, but joining the Dharma and the Croat isn't entirely out of the question, making Dead City Season 2 a fascinating project. Herschel could become a major part of The Walking Dead's next generation. The Walking Dead looks to be building a roster of young survivors for the future. Although The Walking Dead's TV series ended much differently from the comics, it appears as though the franchise is still building towards a future generation, and Herschel may be a massive part of that. Judith seems like she will evolve into the TV equivalent of Carl, who became the main character in the comics. Having learned survival techniques much quicker than other kids her age, she already has all the traits needed to be a future protagonist, especially being the daughter of Rick. With RJ alongside her, the siblings will be instrumental in the future.